welcome back to episode 2 of Con Aneyda. Today I'm lucky to have Priscilla, who is owner of Casa Blanca and CB Now. So she's going to go ahead and tell us a little bit about herself.
Hi guys, I'm Priscilla. I'm the owner of Casa Blanca & Co., which is a jewelry business. We do anything from like permanent jewelry, custom jewelry, and then I also own a business for doing nails. I do nails, gel X, gel builder, so that's what I specialize in.
And that's perfect because if you guys need jewelry or nails, Priscilla's the person to reach out to. Today in the interview, we're going to be talking to Priscilla about how she came up with Casa Blanca and CB Now. So we're going to talk about a little advice for up-and-coming business owners, young and older. We're also going to be talking about fashion trends and how it is to keep up with that in the way that everything is going. So sit tight, grab some popcorn or some drinks, and enjoy our podcast for today. So the first question I have for you, only because obviously we're in a world of social media and everything is going so quick and so fast. How do you go and pick the trends? Like, how do you go ahead and
really
pick
good one.
jewelry? Like, how do you go ahead and do
honestly,
that?
I'm a really big person on Pinterest. Like, I love Pinterest. And I think ever since, like, high school, like, I've always used it and I've always kept it. I love looking at trends that's happening over there, like, in Europe and stuff, just to see what's up and coming. I usually try to navigate, like, a whole year in advance. I like watching, there's, like, different people on YouTube and stuff as well that do just kind of like, oh, what are the trends? And that's how I kind of like coordinate them to my jewelry. I do try to keep some pieces that are very like generic, like something timeless, something that you're going to keep all year round. Pieces that are very like good to wear that won't get messed up in any case. But Pinterest is like my best friend.
And I love Pinterest. I literally use Pinterest also like to like look up like
day in the outfits. Like literally every morning I'm just like, okay, let me see what to wear. Like honestly, Pinterest is my best friend.
I love Pinterest. It's so good. In regards to that and also going into that, a lot of people go ahead and choose clothing boutiques. And that was like one of the questions. And I like that you chose jewelry because it was so different. Yeah. It was like so like because everyone goes, and which is not bad. Like everyone needs clothes, but like, what made you opt out to the jewelry business?
So I mean, growing up, my mom and my dad have always gotten me really into jewelry. I have a bracelet that I never take off, and it's this elephant bracelet. My dad used to like custom making his jewelry. And then so he would pretty much get them made and we would wear them. And they're just pieces that I've always loved having. And then especially for like high school, I don't know if you ever remember the brand Alex and Annie.
I do,
yeah. Okay, so that, oh my god, that had me in a chokehold. I was that girl wearing
I remember.
so many.
Priscilla and I went to high school together and we were in cheer together and I remember like she would wear them.
I would always wear jewelry. Like jewelry is just my thing and I loved it. Like they had different charms. I'm pretty sure they still do them where every charm kind of means a different thing. So you can read the label and I loved gift giving. Like I'm a big gift giver. So when I gave anybody, like I love like for it to be very like meaningful, so I felt like jewelry was very meaningful and it's just like a piece you get to create. Honestly, like don't get me wrong, I'm a very big like clothing girl too. Like I love clothes, but I think it's just felt very natural to go into jewelry. I've always watched this girl, like I said, like I like looking at people from different states and like different countries. There's this girl in Canada and I loved watching her like get ready videos and stuff like that, and she was really popular for doing pretty much her jewelry brand and how she would custom make these pieces, but her custom making was to the T. Like it was so crazy. And one night I pretty much like was with my sister-in-law because I have the business with my sister-in-law, and I was like, oh my god, like that's so cool, like how she makes this like jewelry and stuff like that, because I was like, that's just so crazy to me. And her mom, which is my suegra, pretty much was like always in LA, and she was like, oh, like next weekend I'll take you guys. And I was like, okay, like didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay, like that sounds fun to do. And honestly, we started pretty much with nothing. Like it was just, let's just go see and what's out there, because I honestly didn't know anything about it, and I would just watch YouTube videos on people, which honestly, looking back at it, it was a lot of boutiques that I would look at. But so it was kind of harder to find the people that I did really like their jewelry business, because we're big on like not tarnishing, like mainly gold filled products. And when we went out there, we kind of like tested like different vendors and different pieces, and now we have like our people that we like love. Yeah, because then I feel like we try to keep our jewelry very consistent and quality wise. And then so we went out there, and then pretty much I remember just taking a few like cash. Like I was just like, oh, let me just take stuff. Yeah, just to have. And then pretty much we ended up spending all that cash. No name, no Instagram, no nothing. Like we literally spent all the money on jewelry. So we got back home, and right away we were just like, okay, like, well, I guess we have to start. We have no other choice.
But you can see that's like a sign. Because like you didn't have anything like you said, and then it's just like kind of like sewed into each other. Like that's beautiful.
And then if you guys didn't know, we started our business during COVID, so it was like 2020. And honestly, I had all the time in the world because school went online. I was going to school for physical therapy, for kinesiology. I've always really liked therapy because I feel like just talking to people and being really close to people. So then I had all the time in the world because everything was online. It was pretty easy. They were really easy on us at the time. So then pretty much we would just post everything that we would get, and we would just take orders through DM. Like, oh, like DM us if you want this, DM us if you want that. And that's how it pretty much started. Like the name came about. We were just going back and forth, and in the beginning,
and I'm gonna ask you that. Why Casa Blanca? And I think it's like a beautiful name too, because when she first came out with it, I remember seeing it on Instagram. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like it's so different. Like not like it wasn't just like Priscilla or like your sister-in-law's name, but it was like Casa Blanca. So why did you guys?
I think we both agreed on like not tying anything into our names. I personally I don't know. I don't really like to be in the spotlight that much. I'm a very, very shy person. It's really crazy for me to be doing all of this. I've always been a really shy person. I feel like I've always been good at like having friends and big friend groups. That's one for sure. But like for me to be the person to like be the crazy one, like I'm not. I'm not. I'm like really much the shy person. So I didn't want my name tied into it. And then we were just bouncing back names. And what we did really want was kind of something very clean and simple, where if somebody were to say it, like, it'll be easy to remember.
Oh, that's
like
good.
Just in the sense, like, oh, like, I don't know, I don't want to put anything too crazy to then I'll be like, oh, like, how are they gonna remember it, you know?
That's good advice too.
So I feel like it was much that, and then Irene had mentioned me. So Casa Blanca is pretty much a flower. And I mean, we both really like flowers and stuff, and it's one of her favorite flowers. So she mentioned the name to me, and I actually really liked it because it was pretty much like it's kind of like a Spanish name, with like Mexican and stuff like that. So I really love the idea of it being like Casa Blanca, and it's funny because so many people think my name is Blanca. Like so many people would come up to me and be like, "Oh, is your name Blanca?" And I'm like, "No,"
because I mean, a lot of people tie in, like I tied in the title with con Aneyda, and that translates to with Aneyda. So, I mean, it would make sense why they're like Casa Blanca.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no. And it's funny because I used to have a dog named Blanca, but no, I was like, pretty much it's based off of a flower, and we both really liked it. So if you can kind of look, if you guys look at our logo, on the back of it, it does have a flower. But yeah, so that's our OG. Yeah. It has a flower, and it's funny because from time to time, again, like you know how everybody's using a clean aesthetic right now.
Yes.
And me and her always like bounce back of the idea like of removing the flower off her logo, but we just can't get ourselves to remove it.
No, because that's also like a reminder of like how you started. So I think I'm like opposed to the clean aesthetic. I like it on other people.
I mean, it's very like. It's nice for you to look at, and it's very simple, and you can read it. That's why.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Back to Casa Blanca. You started in, you said 2019?
Oh, 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Which was actually a really hard time, because I remember seeing her growth, and I would always like keep up, and I would like the post, and I was like, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And like, I've never gotten to tell her this, so like when she came into the interview, and I was like, okay, it's my time to tell her, like, because I always thought like, what if I just message her like, like I was like, that's so weird, but I was like,
I love that.
When she came, I was like, okay, like this is gonna be a cool time to let her know, like I've been watching it, and like a lot of my friends and also be like, oh, like that's so cool, like they've grown and everything.
That's so funny.
I know.
It just like it's a pinch me moment, because I'm like, I would have never thought my life would have been like this. Like honestly, growing up, I did have like my parents and stuff, and my dad has always done his own thing. Like in the sense of work and stuff. So, and he has a lot of friends that have big businesses, and they pretty much start from nothing, and they've never gone to school. But growing up, I didn't see myself for that.
Yeah.
Like, I've always just known, like, school, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was always, like, a really good student and stuff. But going into this, it was pretty scary and pretty big, and I was just like, well, they did it, so I was like, I can do something.
I can agree with you on that, because all I've ever known is school
Mm-hmm.
school and work. Like, that's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
And when I decided to do this, I was like, oh, well, like,
Yeah.
okay, like, there's nothing. Like, I remember I just bought a camera, and then I had started buying lights and my tripod, and I was like, okay.
Once you buy it, you just have to
You
keep
just
going.
and
You
I was
have
like,
to go with it.
No, once
There's
I made
no
the
way.
Instagram, I was like, oh, I have to keep going now. And then I
Like,
uploaded.
people know. People are watching.
I know. It's like I uploaded the first video, and I was like, oh, I have to do another video. But I'm with that, going back to the growth that you guys have had, and the collaborations that you've also had. Like, that's something really huge.
I know.
Starting in 2020, and then that's such a hard time to do, to now evolve into having these huge collaborations.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel as an owner? And not only yourself, but I know your sister-in-law also.
Honestly.
How does that make you guys feel as owners?
I know. Really crazy, honestly. Like, I still can't believe it, and I still can't believe that I'm in touch with these people, and I can call these people, like, my really close friends, just because we were able to build a relationship. And I think that's what it was like. It was a lot easier because we built a relationship going into the collabs. So we kind of, like, knew each other. We, like, it was really easy for us to do. And a lot of it was just kind of like, okay, like, shoot our shot. Like, what's the worst they're going to say is no. Like, honestly, that's what I will tell people. I'm like, don't ever be shy in that sense, because what's the worst thing? Like, you just never go through with it. So, yeah, like, I feel like it's very, like, a pinch me moment. I remember with Berto, so I started doing his nails. So I started jewelry first. And then when COVID was a real thing, we didn't have to go back to school. And I started doing nails because my other sister-in-law does nails. And we kind of just bought a whole bunch of nail polishes, and we would sit in her backyard and do nails and stuff like that. And then I started doing my cousin's nails, and it was just like, oh, like, let me just make some money off of it, because I wasn't working either because of COVID. Yeah, so then I met Berto through social media. It's kind of like I did one of his friends. And so they posted me, and I would say it's probably, like, one of the best things that's ever happened to me, because I'm very, very thankful for him. Berto, if you're watching, I love you. And so I give him a lot of, like, my heart, because I feel like we both kind of started pretty much there, like, just us doing nails and us building a relationship. And he's always, in a sense, like, wrote for me and, like, would put my name anywhere and out there. So how it started, it was pretty much like doing the pop-ups, and then he started working with Erica, and then he was just like, oh, like, Erica, this is my friend Priscilla, like, he brought her to me, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, Berto, I'm obsessed with her. And then he was like, oh, she does nails, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh my god.
Isn't it funny, because with the first episode that I released, everyone's like, oh, have you seen any of this podcast? And I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't want any support. I don't want anyone to know about it. But it's, like, very weird to be, like, humble and be like,
I know. It's very different for me, and I don't know. Till this day, I don't know how to, like, I was just telling her, like, it's so hard for me to, like, talk about myself. But it was, like, he brought me to her, and then he was like, oh, she does nails. She was like, oh my god, can you do my nails like this day? And I'm like, right now, I was like, I've never seen my work before. Like, I don't know if she had or hadn't, but she, like, trusted whatever he had to say. And I was like, wow. I was like, okay. So then pretty much, I started doing her nails, and then we got really close. And then we were just like, me and Irene were like, okay, like, let's ask her to do a collab. And we went to dinner and stuff, and she was like, yeah, like, of course. And I was like, oh my god, like, that's so crazy, you know? Like, I just would have never thought. And then from there, the whole soiree and her community and stuff has helped us grow so much, because I was like, if it wasn't for that as well, I think it wouldn't have grown to where it is now.
For those people who don't know what the soiree
Yeah.
is, I've been to a few. I love them.
They're
It's
a
so
lot of
cool to see. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
I think they have some in. Is it only in Downey or is it?
No, they have them in a lot of different places. Like this weekend, they're having one in LA. It's like Smorgasburgs. It's like
yes,
just collab with them.
Okay.
They were big in Santa Anita, which I think they just finished there. So now they're doing them in Anaheim, and it's a really cute street with like a whole bunch of different restaurants and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of people. Like honestly, I hardly go to the mall anymore because I get all my clothes and everything from there. But I love their community. They're really friendly. Everybody's really nice. So yeah.
With those collabs, do you feel like you're gonna branch out to more collabs?
Yes.
Or, yes. I mean, like not that we would like let me know, but
yeah.
How do you go ahead and plan those collabs? Because I feel like it's a little bit different from choosing your jewelry for to sell, and then like you kind of have to match their aesthetic.
Yeah.
So do you work with them, or do you pretty much like present to them like, oh, this is what I have for you guys?
Okay, so to be honest, we kind of give them full control. But I mean, we are like, in the sense like we think about who we're gonna pick, so we know their aesthetic and we know their people already.
Okay.
Like kind of like their crowd and who's like, would you say crowd or like people that are watching them?
Their
followers?
audience.
Yes, audience.
Their audience.
There you go. So we are really good at picking in that sense. So it's kind of in the direction that we know that we are doing. We are working on more collabs and I'm really excited because I'm like, this next one is really big. Honestly, I just would have never thought it would ever come to this point because back then, like I used to watch the videos and I used to like always like, you know, be like, oh my god, this is so cute, and like to be like now like her phone number is on my phone, you know, like
it's like
stuff
such
like
a
that.
moment,
Yeah. And well, yes, like in that sense, so we give them full control in that sense, like creating, because it's fun for them and it's fun for us to see their like inspiration come to life. We try to bring the best in the sense of like making it to what they like to the T, and I feel like me and Irene are pretty good at that. So that's the good thing about our business as well, is that it's two of us, so we keep each other accountable. Yeah, like we're just like, okay, like we need to do this or we need to do that, and that's where I feel like it gets the collab going, because I feel like if you don't give each other those deadlines, it's in the sense it's like, okay, like whenever, you know, like that sense. So and with their next one, it is kind of like Disney inspired, so I'm excited because I know like we're pretty big on Disney, and Disney's not that far from us, at least here in LA. But yeah, so that's a little like tea to it, I guess I can say. And then like even simply like Erica, like I used to like follow her, and then we did a shoot with Libre Lashes. If you guys don't know, it's Karen, and I just remember like being there, and I was just like, I don't know how to be right now. Like it was crazy because she was even doing her makeup in the mirror, and I was just like, oh my god, like I used to watch her do that, like that. So growing up too, I was like, I never had sisters. I only have brothers. So I don't know how I became such a girly girl, because I was like, I mean, my mom made me, but I was like, I grew up with a lot of boys in my life. So like I used to watch all of them because I didn't have a sister to watch, you know?
I have two sisters.
Yeah.
Like,
at least we can have each other. I love when people have sisters, but I didn't have that. So I used to be on YouTube a lot and watch them do their makeup and watch them get ready. And that's how I kind of learned. So I was like doing all these collabs. I'm like, oh my god, like they're always pinch me moments. And the way that we kind of just go about it is just giving them the creativity, because I feel like on our side, we kind of bring what we want to life. So I think it's like better just to give them their creative space, and then from there we kind of help them out, because I know it's like different for them because they're not jewelry creators,
because they're going like either from that makeup background or like that clothing background.
Yeah, so that's like, what people tell us all the time, that like they're just like, oh my god, like jewelry, like I don't know how it's gonna be, or I don't know how it's gonna work, and I was like, no, like just have fun with it. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like it's just like things that you would like and that you would wear, or if you want to do something way out of your comfort zone, like we can do that too.
And how do you help people to get out of their comfort zone? Because like I stick with just like a gold hoop or like a gold stud, and then I always have like my little bracelets, and that's pretty much it. And like I like to accessorize too. I'm a huge like earring like fanatic. Yeah. But how do you help those who are like, oh, I don't know like what my jewelry vibe is?
Well, honestly, I I think it's pretty easy for me to do that.
She's like,
no, not in that sense, because I feel like we try to talk to our clients or like people that come in, and we talk to them and we make them feel comfortable. We kind of get a taste of what they're like, and they'll buy something, or usually people would buy online first, and they'll be like, okay, like let's see what you have, or what are you getting ready for, so that we can help them. And then they'll show us their outfit, and I'll be like, okay, I think this looks good. And then, so little by little, like, we'll have them try on different pieces at the store and see also what they feel comfortable with. But yeah, putting a little twist to it, you know? Just something a little bit different. And then from there, like, yeah, like, they start liking the piece, or they wear it, and then they come back to us, and they're just like, oh my god, I can't take this off. Like, I love it. So then, that's when we're just like, okay, like, let's try this. Like, you know, like, it's, I feel like our jewelry, we do try to keep it very affordable, just because we, like, as a girl, I know, like, we find a lot, you know, like,
it's
in
a
this,
mission.
yes, in this, like, world of being a girl is very expensive. And so we try to keep it very affordable, and I feel like the quality is very good. So we always keep that in mind. We always have discount codes too, so keep a lookout for that. We always have discount codes, so if anything, we'll just be like, you know what, try this out. Or for the most part, sometimes, like, if they're a person that we always see come back and forth, and we're just like, you know, like, take this piece and then let me know how you like it, like, just on the house. So I feel like we usually try our best to make somebody feel comfortable, and if we see that they're a really good client, like, we treat you guys really well. Like, I don't know, like, our clients become our friends, and then they bring their kids and their family and their moms, and so we know the whole families. So I love it. But.
So Priscilla, where do you and Irene see Casa Blanca? Like, what is the next steps for Casa Blanca?
Okay, so one of the next steps is definitely getting it for more people to wear it. Like, seeing other people wear the jewelry is really, really nice. We've had some orders in Mexico and in Europe, so it's really, like, I would love to have more people in Mexico wear it. And Europe, just because I feel like I do love looking at their styles and just having a different audience is always nice. We do have a lot of people, like, in Texas that wear our stuff. Cool. Yeah. I feel like one of our big ones is Texas, and then another big one would probably be, like, New York. And then what else can I think of? Arizona.
Oh,
I know Arizona's a really big state, but they do, like, I just love to see where orders are coming from, because for the most part, it's me and Irene trying to do our orders, and then sometimes we'll have our family members help us work, and then so they'll help us do orders if we feel that we're, like, overflowing. I've had some friends where I'm like, oh, like, do you think you can work with me today? And they would be down for that. So then I just like looking at everything come in and seeing people wear it. I like when I go to family parties, like, people are wearing the jewelry, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, that's so nice, you know, like, having other people wear it, and even, like, being at the mall or being at a pop-up and somebody's wearing the necklace, and I know that we're, like, the only ones that had that necklace, where I'm just like, oh my god, they're wearing it, like, and it's funny because it's like people will wear it and they'll, like, and I don't want to go to them and be like, oh, like, that's for me. Like,
that mine? Yeah.
No, but I just get really excited seeing that. So I feel like definitely growing the business. I feel just having other people wear it, and then hopefully we can have a team soon. Like, just having more and more people, like, help us. It'll make it easier. It'll be more fun for us. I mean, it is really fun, but then there's, like, the finance part. Like, you know, there's a lot of parts to a business.
Trust me.
And so there's so many parts to a business where you're wrapped around into it. But the good thing is two of us, so we try to, like, give each other
that balance. Yeah.
So I was like, definitely having a team as well. But yeah.
Well, Priscilla, I want to say thank you so much for being here with us and talking to us about Casa Blanca and CB Nails.
Thank you. A lot of fun.
Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to everyone who sat here and watched us and listened to my podcast. We do have some info from Priscilla for a pop-up that's coming up.
So we're having a Galentine's event. Men are welcome as well. I know a lot of people have asked me that too, but it is, like, mainly for the girlies. We're gonna have a coffee person. The first 10 people get free coffee on us, and a tote bag with, like, different goodies in them. We're gonna have a tattoo person. I've actually gotten a tattoo from her as well. So they're, like, mini cute tattoos. We're having a Disney person with different Disney ears, Disney merch. A makeup girl. We're gonna have a free flower bar, so if you want to build your own, you can as well. We're trying to do a sticky wall, and on that wall it's either gonna say, like, like words of affirmations, like different stuff that, you know, will make you have a brighter day, or we're thinking of adding different discount codes, so you guys could be really lucky and opening one up. But yeah, so we're gonna have it in Norwalk. It's at our HQ. It's a warehouse, but we do have a showroom, so the showroom is really cute, and we worked really hard on it. We moved in probably a year ago, so now that we're having these little events, this would be our second event. So I'm excited to do more there.
Okay.
I
And
hope you guys can make it.
grab your gals and pals, and I hope you guys can make it to the pop-up.
Get permanent jewelry together, do a lot of fun things.
And thank you guys.
Thank you.